All right, welcome back. So hopefully you've solved this exercise on how to write a function and then invoke the function, add some parameters, etc. Now, if you got it, excellent work. We're ready to move on to harder topics now that you have these things under your belt. If you're struggling still, well, let's go through it together. And hopefully by the end of this video, it'll be much more clear. So the first thing we want to do is write a function. So we're going to write a function. It's called +1. Say +1. It's going to take a signed integer 32. So this could be any variable. I'm going to use y just because we're using y. So I'll just say y, and we're going to set it to i32. And then we're going to return the integer. And so since it says return the integer, I'm going to assume it's the same, it's going to be that same value. So remember the return statements. Now, how would you return? Remember, we returned a Boolean up here. What about an integer? How would you do that? Well, if we want i32, we just do i32 like that. Okay? So hopefully you figured that out. And we're returning. So we're going to use a return statement so that this works. Otherwise, it wouldn't work, right? Because we're actually setting up our return statement. And we want to add whatever that integer is of a value of 1, so we could just say y plus 1, just like that. And we can't forget to end our expression properly. And there you go. That's the first part of it. That's the first part of it. So if you figured out this, you did something like this, excellent work. If not, hopefully this makes more sense. Now, for the second part, we want to create a variable y which stores the result in the main function. So I'm going to main here, and we're going to say let y equals, and it doesn't have to be mutable, right? Because we're just going to input in the parameter. So we're going to say we're going to store the result of invoking the +1 function. So +1, we're invoking it, with an argument of 5. So that means in the +1 argument, we just add 5. And there you go. So now we're calling this +1 function in the main function and then storing that result to y. So now y should have what? Y should have the invocation result of adding the argument of 5 to the parameter +1, which is a signed 32-bit integer, and then return that value of 5 plus 1, which would be 6. And now that we've done that, we can go ahead and print it, right? That's the last thing here. Print the main function. So we're going to say print ln, the value of y is, and y. All right, perfect. Okay, so let's run the code, see if there's any errors. See if we got this right. And there you go. So check out the bottom here. The value of y is 6. So this is a successful solution. And if you figured out how to do this, then I'd say that you're getting the hang of functions. Now, if there were a few things that were confusing, maybe it was variable stuff, maybe it was storing variables, invoking, whatever it is that you felt like you didn't understand, that's what you should focus on right now before you move ahead. If you understand everything so far, it's maybe not the first time you're picking up a language, well, then that's wonderful to hear. Let's keep moving through Rust. There's a lot more to cover. I'll see you there in the next lesson. Okay, bye for now.